First of all, thank you everybody for coming out tonight and helping us celebrate our new strategic plan. We're really, really excited about the plan, and we're really excited that you're all here with us to celebrate it. So the role the library plays in the community remains unchanged from when we first opened our doors in 1898. That role is to provide access to resources the community might not otherwise be able to access. How we fulfill this role has changed drastically. As the digital divide formed and grew, we began providing access to computers and the internet. We began offering skill-building programs for all ages. As digital literacy rose in importance, we began helping the community navigate the seas of information overload and help people learn to use and access new technological resources. We became a safe space in the community and a welcoming space. I like to say that we're one of the few places in town that encourages loitering. Amidst all that libraries now do, it's gotten harder to devise an elevator pitch of what we are and what we do in the community. That difficulty is one of the reasons that I really love our new vision statement, which is inspiring endless opportunities. That statement speaks to what we want to do in the community and who we want to be. As I stated, libraries have changed and they're continuing to change all the time. Our new strategic plan will provide our board and staff a trail map to aid in decision-making and service delivery. It will act as a guide as the library continues to grow and change. It will help us grow our core by developing strong policy and pursuing accreditation. It will lead us through growing our technological resources and supporting emerging trends. It will help us to foster a culture that supports staff and board development and growth, as well as communicate our message and engage our community. Lastly, it will guide us in promoting a healthy living, safety, and security in our community. I'm thankful for all of the work that the library board and staff put into creating this plan, as well as the invaluable time and effort put in by our consultant at Ontario Library Service North, Stephen Krause. I'm also grateful for all of the feedback that the community provided to us as we began to craft this plan. My hope is that this plan will allow us to fulfill our mission of providing evolving and superior library services in a safe and welcoming space for all. Thank you.
Well done, Caroline. I'm Andrew Helikas. I'm the former board chair. Our present board chair, Robin, will speak very shortly. I'd like to give you a little history and share some thoughts with you regarding our strategic plan, which is why we're here this evening. This is the fourth library strat plan that I've had the pleasure of working on. The first was written when our library was housed on Church Street in the old Carnegie building. That was a document that basically was set up to put us in a position to get a new building, a new library. And that document was overseen by my good friend Joyce Cunningham and by one of our former CEOs, Margaret Sedgwick, both of whom were outstanding supporters of the library in our community. The second strat plan was a document that guided us in the transition as we moved into this new building. The third strat plan was a document that we wrote as a guide to fully realizing the potential of this new building as we became comfortable with it and matured into its use. And then there was this one. To begin, Robert, I'm going to use the phrase I like to use. I'll use the phrase that I use a lot when discussing library projects that I've been a part of. This strategic plan is a labor of love. It was definitely labor intensive. We began over a year and a half ago. Prior to starting, we wanted input from the grassroots users, sponsors, and our community partners. We did surveys, we consulted with our patrons. Some of you are here tonight, and we thank you for that. Our various community partners, our friends of the library group, our staff, the mayor and council of that time. And we involved Ontario Library Services North and took advantage of their expertise. Caroline has already mentioned Stephen Krause. Stephen from OLS North was invaluable in guiding us through this task. I should mention that Stephen is a very experienced consultant in the design of strategic plans, and he very quickly became fully involved and excited over this particular plan, and that was largely due to the creativity and zeal of those who worked on it. Their commitment was contagious. We appointed one of our wonderful staff members, Nadine Moots, to our committee. Nadine was invaluable in bringing staff perspective to our work group, and Nadine also brought her fresh perspective, enthusiasm, and energy. So we set up a committee of the whole, and we met at least once a month. And I want all of you to know that that's in addition to our regular board meetings, over and above that. And our entire board willingly committed to this job, knowing that it would be very time-consuming and a great deal of extra work over and above their regular board duties. On occasion, Stephen would fly down from Sudbury, and we would binge work and spend the entire day concentrating on our strat plan. June was there for one of those. For other meetings, we would video conference with Stephen and work for perhaps an afternoon. And we also met regularly between consults with Stephen to discuss what we had done to date and where we wanted to go. And then our very talented CEO, Caroline, would keep us on track by transcribing our efforts into a format we could work with. Caroline and Stephen worked closely together, weaving our thoughts into a cohesive whole, and then giving us homework questions designed to force us to further distill and condense our ideas. And so, gradually the plan took shape, continually guided and finessed by Stephen and Caroline. And eventually, after many, many meetings, proofings, formattings, and much polishing, the plan took the form that you see before you this evening. And Caroline, this is the simplified version of the plan, I believe, with pictures. The pretty one. So that was the labor part. The love came from all of us who worked on this strat plan. We did it because we wanted our library to be the very best that it can be, and to ensure that it embodies our mission statement, which you've heard already once this evening, but it doesn't hurt to hear it again because we're proud of it. And we wrote that, by the way, as part of the strategic planning process. And our mission statement, as you've already heard, is to provide evolving and superior library services in a safe and welcoming space for all. And that's what our plan speaks to. All of us who worked on this plan did so simply because we believe in the concept of a public library, and in particular, our library. We believe that libraries enrich their communities in so many different ways, and this is for Doug Brown, and multiply the value of tax dollars that go into supporting them. All of us love our community and our library, and we wanted to provide a blueprint for our library to follow into the future. We wanted this document to be our board's legacy for the next library board, and members of that board are here tonight, as they take over and continue the good work. We wanted this document to echo our vision statement. And I love this statement. It's such a simple, catchy phrase. Inspiring endless opportunities. And I think that it does. And by the way, we wrote that vision statement too as part of our planning process. And finally, this document would not and could not be what it is without the total commitment of our entire board, our staff, our CEO, and OLS North. Countless hours were put in to create this strategic plan, and I'm so very proud of the superlative and creative work and effort that were put into this plan by all who worked on it. Everything came together beautifully because all the participants who worked on this believed in the value of their library and of the necessity of a vibrant, visionary document to guide it forward. All libraries are going through a rapid period of change and evolution. This document sees our library well situated and prepared to keep up with rapid changes and in fact, in some cases, to lead those changes. This plan was a labor of love. Thank you. And now our board chair, Robin.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I too would like to welcome and thank you all for coming tonight. The board and the staff of the library are very excited and proud of this strategic plan, as you've heard, for the next 4 years. As I reviewed the strat plan again today, I was struck by the dedication of our staff and board members. This is a very detailed and comprehensive plan that will keep the library growing into the future needs and direction of the community at large. The board, myself included, have committed to be engaged and participating in various workshops and training initiatives to keep us up to date and expand our knowledge and understanding of changing technology and Library Act requirements. We are up to the task. When I was appointed to the board, I never realized the amount of homework that we would be given, but we do a lot, let me tell you. We fully support and believe in this vitally important community hub. Lastly, I just want to sum up, we cannot be successful without the support of you, the community members, our volunteers, friends of the library, and again, an ongoing and heartfelt thank you to our CEO, Carolyn. She keeps us all hopping and runs the library at optimum efficiency while making it fun and welcoming and safe for all. So thank you again, Carolyn. Welcome. Please enjoy this very special library and all it has to offer. Thank you.